Come on along and help me sing this song where the adventure grew. That's me and you, and the whole world too. A wide trail and open forest greet me for this beautifully cool morning on the Bay Circuit. Amazed to see this creature hovering in front of me like a tiny helicopter, a hoverfly. It's hard to miss this scarlet tanager doing something like a morning dance just above me in the trees. It seems to me it's grooming, its feathers vibrating, a very special moment. Then it's by a dangling leaf to a bog, a swampy area, a concert of birds singing, frogs croaking. Nature at its finest. Glorious bright blue skies and the sun. Today is very special because I'm meeting with a man that I've heard so much about.
If it weren't for Alan French, there wouldn't be a Bay Circuit Trail.
He's a hard guy to say no to.
But who is this man walking through the wetlands with a shopping bag in hand? And what got him started on reviving the dream of the Bay Circuit Trail? Simply by going to a meeting at the Appalachian Mountain Club's Boston headquarters.
He had a store, so he was kind of the corporate world. He was representing the corporate world, and they were talking about doing a trek, and he asked them, well, on this trek, do you have any need for an old geezer like me? That's how he put it.
And what was Al's secret for galvanizing the passions of so many people, waiting for a leader to tie it all together, working at the grassroots?
What that really did was it inspired people to get really interested in the Bay Circuit. A lot of people volunteered. And the whole notion that Al came up with, which I think was his genius, was this is a bottoms-up thing. You find people who are interested in every community, and you let them work out their part, and you get them together so the trails meet at the town border.
The state was running it sort of as a zoning question where they would try to get all the towns in the Bay Circuit to do their master planning for buying up land and so forth. The Park Service said, get out there. You'll get the people that will use the land, then they'll vote for it. That's how you drive the program. And it wasn't my idea, but I bought it, hook, line, and sinker.
Al was hooked, and the revival took off. And besides all the hard work it takes to organize a movement like this, the premise was really quite simple.
People who had been like me in all the towns, the 50 towns, said, hey, this thing isn't dead, you know? And that's how it took off.
The trail is so many things, from road walks to woods to this beautiful bog. It's this butterfly. And all the peaceful sounds. It's protected areas, a place for wildlife. It's a tree that's fallen, a large rock tangled in its roots. And as Al explains, all the experiences this trail has to offer can be very important to our lives.
I do believe that its lifestyle is positively affected by exposure to open space on a regular basis, hopefully, close to where you live, so it's not a big production to drive, and also for people of less means, it's sometimes an economic problem of how to have the time or the area to get close to green space.
And as we sit on this very unusual bench, I wonder if all our environmental problems could be solved in the way that Al's attacked the problems facing the Bay Circuit Trail.
You have to make people glad, and I think that means they're glad if they feel they're being listened to, that they're included. So sometimes that's inconvenient.
A simple truth, including the people in the solution. And it doesn't even have to be your own idea.
I think the Bay Circuit Trail, the idea of walking from Plum Island to Duxbury, even if you didn't do it more than once in your lifetime, or not at all, if you, was exciting to people.
And that's what seems to happen on the hike as I become mesmerized by the woods, even the roads, the private property postings, the gunshots from a nearby rifle range. They can't disturb the feeling of calm a good walk can produce. Like going by this great glacier boulder. And if you look close, my first glimpse at a great blue heron. Through a 19th century quarry, by an old mill site and a pond, the sky, the clouds, the rushing water.
I can say it's an article of faith. I can't prove it. I feel. And it has been supported by people like Tony Hiss and people who have written about, and more recently, studies in Scotland. I believe that exposure to green space is an important mental health as well as a physical health.
As I reach the end of the day, I come upon this very special bench in the Mary French Reservation. And I learn the reason Al was carrying that shopping bag.
The highlight of my life is the time when shortly after she retired from the school system in 1998, without me asking, she said, "Alan, I'd like to walk the Bay Circuit with you." And we did. Yeah. 20 days or 15 days, I don't remember. No telephone. To have that time with somebody you love so deeply is something I'll never forget.
Carefully sanding and preparing the wood for a loving finish, I read the words on a plaque written about a woman who played such an influential part in the life of Al French. She listened and responded to nature. She listened and responded to her community, family, friends, associates, parents, children.
A lot of people won't know. They'll see that bench, they'll see her name, but they won't know what she did and what she was like. And I was hoping that those lines would suggest to people what kind of a person she was.
So the day ends, following the footsteps of a living legend. I can't help notice, in the most beautiful wetlands, one purple iris by Mary's Bench. I can't tell you what's in my heart. I can't tell you what's in my soul. All that I can tell you is it's all about love. Love is all we need. Love is a seed. Come hike the trail with me, and maybe we'll start to see that all we really need is love.